Hello, I hope you're having a beautiful, fantastic, productive day. I hope that you remain optimistic, persistent, and insistent on preserving our democracy. I hope that you spread joy and that you save some joy for yourself. You create joy for yourself and you share it with other people. Welcome to the springtime. The equinox is upon us. The seasons are changing. Okay, so the whole dismantling of the Department of Education, I don't know if it's been dismantled yet. I don't know if it's in progress. I don't even know. All I know is that I called McGraw, the history textbook company. Yes, I called them. And I had an unusual conversation. The whole conversation was unusual. When you call a history textbook company, I didn't pay attention in history in school except for world history. World history was fascinating. American history was not, because it was like the same thing over and over again since like third grade. They just pounded the same thing over in your brain. And then magically, when you get to like the 5th grade or the 6th grade, they start to introduce world history, which was fascinating. And then when you get to middle school and then high school, they go back to American history. And it's like, oh, can we go back to world history? Anyway, so I called McGraw-Hill, and they were a textbook company that I remember that damn textbook, and I remember it saying McGraw-Hill. So I called them first. And this gentleman, and he had a beautiful Indian accent. He was very patient, very kind. I could hear the kindness in his voice. So I told him, I was like, this is going to be an unusual phone call for you and for me. And I told him my grievance about diversity, equity, and inclusion in regards to their leadership. And then he kindly navigated me to an area of his website that did show more equity and inclusion. And then my rebuttal to him was why I shouldn't have to go that deep into the website. And then I didn't understand every single word that he said, but he did give me recourse of voicing my opinion. And he also did mention that they don't even know if they're going to have jobs. Okay. My American history recollection is very minute. Okay? I don't know what happened when I went into history class when I was in high school. Well, actually, I know what happened. And I know what happened in college too. But anyway, it's very minute. But this history textbook, I'm just trying to illustrate how big of a textbook they are. The fact that I recollect that they are actually a publication company is profound and speaks to their reputation on its own, okay? Now, with that said, that I actually have a recollection of them with my minute knowledge, and that they are at risk. He shared with me that they're at risk of losing their federal grants. So the whole conversational tone changed. And he said he didn't even know if they were going to have jobs. What does that mean? What are the kids going to be learning from? I know they didn't come up with a whole textbook in this Project 2025 business. So what are they going to be replacing these textbooks with? Ludicrousness? Ludicrousness. We're going to make it a word. And like Trumpification. And so then, I was on the phone and like, I don't know, for some reason, like, of course I want a diplomatic conversation, but I had anticipated resistance in that phone call, and the gentleman was so polite, so well spoken, so kind, and it just made it so much worse. And then you told me that you might be losing his job. It's just like, I don't know why I didn't fathom the full ramifications of the dismantling of the Department of Education. This is this is so impactful. How is this legal? I think this is illegal. This can't be legal. This is not what our founding fathers had in mind when they signed what was it? The Declaration of Independence in 1776. And then John Hancock put his big signature on it, his big ass signature. And he was so proud of everything that it stood for. He wanted his signature to be bigger than anybody else's.